Good morning. This is Engineer Suraj Singh, International Professional Engineer, speaking from NCR Faridabad, Delhi, Bharat, in this series of buildings, field engineering on 20th February 2020. I just present certain documents, certain drawings. You can say drawings manually drawn in 92 to 94. These big sketches for your information. In those days when there was nothing as computer or something, and this drawing is of course you will say it's something. You say it this way. This is a big piece of drawing. It's actually a city. It's a city integrated plan, which you may say this is like to tell you like this, For example, these are buildings here. This is, for example, this is cruciform. This is swastika hill. This is swastika, cruciform, swastika, and these are, for example, this community center, and this is a carport type building. You may say this is a car parking multi-story, and this is, for example, another building, small one. This is a continuation of these series. This is another community center. This is another carport here. You may say this carport here, and another carport here. Combination of these buildings. This is actually integrated planning, integrated master plan type of that area. It is having self-containment of complexes. It is having buildings plus school, elementary school, and it is having community center, shopping center, nursing home, substations, swimming pools, community center, roads, plantation, not all that. It's a kind of, how can I explain to you? It's self-explanatory anyway. I'll show you little longitudinally this plan. It's all manually drawn by pencil and ballpoint. No computers, nothing. You may not see very clearly because this is 92, you may say 28 years back. This was not a piece of paper only. This was not a learning. It was for a project which never took off because in those days there were no such promoters. But nobody was interested in risking that one. But after that, many projects appeared. I think this is longitudinal way. So we have a history orientation. Yeah, that's okay. And another one. This is actually swastika. And the other one this one is a little bigger and a smaller one. And this is you can say these are letters of Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. That type of letters are there in this plan. Put a line, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. Same thing you can say SHIVA, Brahma, Vishnu, school, community center, as usual. Carports in this, then nursing home, also you can see water tank, community center, swimming pools, complete set of substations, police stations, and it's here as usual, self-contained one. I'll go to the other one. I don't know. So, yes, another one, your damage one, this is the tall one, but also something is there, this tall one, of course. This is Swami, this is Muhammad, Abraham Ismail, etc. Same type, square, same type design, with same, this little tower. I put some light so that you can view it. I'll get another one. I'm just showing it for the reference only because I just got about this the next test talk, but because it's difficult to take on this now all time. You will see. I'll take another one. Now I'll take this one. This is also very big. This is a kind of plastic design of different mode. This is different type of plastic star. So actually it's an augmentation of plastic. Plastic whose arms have been twisted to each side. If you take swastika there, you will see that different mode, square in between, rectangular in between, and right on the side, same cardboard. And the glue is long here. As well. And take the other one. I'll take this one, a little smaller. This is Namaste, Salam, Sat Sri Akal. as we usually do in secular culture. This is Namaste, Salam, Sat Sri Akal. It's in the pattern of airports, schools, nursing home, community center, swimming pool, substation, post station, all that. And the other one, yeah, this is for 6 months. This is Nanak Naam Jahaj Pyare. This is 6 months. Same style. Pull this off. I'll take another one. I'll take all this. As much as I can show you, I'll try my best. This is the combination, cross, and it's like that. You can see also a small one on graph paper. I'll show this one a little because of light is falling on that. So just that one. I'll put it this one out. I'll take another one. So that is in this type. This another one. I'll take this one down. That is another one. This is Jesus, yes, Jesus Christ. Actually, I had a concept in mind to produce a township named India Town, which is having all types of religious named buildings, shapes, but I could not do that time because of no supports. All names of religions and culture were designed. India, a beautiful nation, was district center. Bharat Mata ki Jai, and all Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Bharat Mata Sabka Mandir, just like Jesus Christ. All were included. About 40 more, 45 integrated, self-integrated complexes were designed. Unfortunately, my luck was bad. You may say, lot of work was done. No use, I don't repent that one. This is life. I'm just trying to show the old report to you guys. Those who may feel industry goes comfortable, nothing of that sort. But comfort doesn't mean your skill is gone. And this is counting, simple counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 7 like that. Simple, no difficulty in that. Only normal counting it is. Method is same principle, same philosophy. You must say, I know that one. Maybe what we split or wrong, no problem, but I'm just showing you. And and before, this is another plan, which is actually integration of city. This is, you may say, a master plan like this, which this was conceived based on these lines. This is a city, India town, length and width you can see, in miles and kilometers. All these complexes have been arranged in the pattern you can see. What I wrote over there, I just tell you, this was, this is actually road pattern. Inside roads, yes, this is inside road pattern. So I would say this is road pattern of that, inside roads, and it is for that. I'll show you other one. I'll show you water. And this is our, say, beautiful country. That one, water garden in shape of Bharat, India map, a different kind of concept where you can walk on that rock, on the arch is a slab, all water flowing down from up downwards, and various routes are there, walkways are there, and Bharat Mata is written there in that, which must be having fountains. This is water garden, you may say water garden. This is water garden. I'll go one as much as I can show you. And I talk as we go. And I'll take you to prayer garden. This is prayer garden where all religions are in, all four: temple, mosque, gurdwara, church, in their own symbolics, Om and cruciform, Ekamkal and Allah. All are there. You can see religious shapes and Paramatma embedded in between among all in center middle, which is giving fountains for this city. Prayer garden. I'll move down to next one, which is a political one. The second Gandhi, High Constant, second Gandhi of world, who was in jail for 27 years. This is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Just for that, at that time, it was a news, so I just put that one. I could not show you. Person from South Africa. And I get another one, and that is Venus. I will show you Venus, Shukr, only small one, Shukr. Venus, this is, and I'll put this down. I'll do the other one, and that is Hanuman. 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 All same type of complex. I'll go to the next one. The next one is maybe I'm not going. This is rainbow, natural, work of sky, rainbow, work of environment, work of clouds, work of rain, rainbow. Alright, the next. Next one, and this is Vaishno Devi. This is Vaishno Devi. You know Vaishno Devi is Jammu. Vaishno Devi famous very much. Vaishno Devi means vegetarian Devi. Not even taking onion or garlic, just ordinary food. So this is Vaishno Devi. And take it on anesthesia. But this is seven heaven. Okay, seven heaven. Of course, it's the whole we have not seen heaven, but people call it Swarga, seven heaven. It's like seven seas they call it. It's also called seven heaven. I'll take it out off. Here I will explain all of it. I'm just showing you what is being. There are many more. It is not numerous of people. Alright. And this is Jupiter Mercury. Combination of Jupiter Mercury. Jupiter Mercury. Jupiter Mercury. So let's move further. And now it is this is sky, moon, sky, sun, moon, star. Sky, sun, moon, star. This is sky, sun, moon, star. Sky, sun, moon, star. Same trend, carports, school, nursing home, markets, community centers, swimming pools, etc. Into walls and compound walls, boundary walls. And then it's now Father Gandhi, our nation, symbol of non-violence, Gandhi, symbol of peace, symbol of struggle, symbol of humility, symbol of spiritual world, symbol of struggle. Father Gandhi, unequal, legend of freedom, I am decided this is given state first. And this was Quran Sharif. Quran Sharif. Let me say this way. This one lighting purpose and this one. Yeah. Quran Sharif. Islamic holy book. I'll take that out. Take this. This is Bismillah. When you start something in Islam, you always say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The same Bismillah. Bismillah. Means letters are in that name. That letters are the spelling. And go next. Sorry, how many minutes have taken? 20. No, I move further. Just as many as possible. Because this will take out regular time. It's Allah, Allahu Akbar. All same meaning. Allah, Allah, Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Take it off. Okay. It's not out. Mother Teresa. This is Nobel laureate, service, human service, she did, human service laureate, Nobel laureate, Mother Teresa, international figure, who had human service attitude, benevolent, star one, and say, one says, this is Tipu Sultan, Mughal king of Bharat, Tipu Sultan, who had had good dispute with British and Mughals. British, he had dispute with Mughal and a war with Tipu Sultan from south of our country, very well known Sultan, and he is going to be one that is and this is I'll choose two only, not all. This is 15 August, our independent day. Spelling is PUNDRA, 15 August. 15 August, PUNDRA, 15, age is August. As usual, our Swatantrata Divas, Independent Day, Bharat Independent Day, Swatantrata Divas, Bharat ka, and I show now something. Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna. I have written Lord Krishna, leading God in 2020. Lord Krishna, Lord, Lord, those should Bhagavan Bhagavan, Lord, no problem. Lord, Krishna exists there. Krishna, alright. And I say, and next is. Oh my God. This is Guru Granth. Guru Granth Sahib. I think Guru Granth only, not Sahib. This one is Guru Granth. Guru Granth buildings. In the elevator plan. Guru Granth. So, Sahab. Guru Granth. Holy book of Sikh. One. Then. Come on. This is Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha, originator of course Buddha religion. Gautam Buddha, named Siddhartha. Bharat is Gautam Buddha, scientific god, scientific leader of religion. Gautam Buddha. And I'm going further than Astra. Astra. I think in those days Mahabharata was on, serial of Mahabharata was moving. So Brahmastra was, this why you are also included Brahmastra. Well, it is just current issue at that time. And we just include Brahmastra also, no problem. It's our culture. It's imaginary or real, it doesn't matter, but it is culture. Brahmastra. I move on further to the next one. And that is Jai Mata Ki. Very beautiful chanting mantra. Jai Mata Ki. Jai Mata Ki. Jai Mata Ki. This is written on this Jai Mata Ki buildings in this complex. You can, it's very common, powerful, people chant it. Jai Mata Ki. Then we move down to Vivek Anand. Vivek Anand, Swami Vivekananda, and Vivek Anand, Swami, no, you have no space. Vivek Anand. Actually, Vivek means your knowledge, your hosh, your intelligence. Anand means power to entertain, power to enjoy. The spirit of entertaining, the spirit of happiness. That's what they're all about, you know. So Vivek Anand. Now, let me see that actually has happened. 34 minutes now. Now, we jump on to Vishwamitra. Muni Vishwamitra, who constructed another heaven for his father, Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra once came later on became saint, sadhu, rishi, Vishwamitra. So is that imaginary prosperity? Vishwamitra. And then come on. Then I'll go to other ones. That is. Now, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. This is Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Let us Jai Shri Ram. So this is that. It's not what you think Jai Shri Ram of nowadays. It is actually one part of secular status. Our script is Jai Shri Ram in this country. So it's nothing to do with politics. Don't take it politically. Take it secular, right? Secular status. Now we have Mahabharat, symbol of war. Mahabharat. People hate Mahabharat, but it can't be hated. It's a story. Mahabharat. Mahabharat. People actually jump off from Ramayana. Mahabharata says, peace now, it's now dispute. Mahabharata started, let's go away from here. So this is saying Mahabharata. Bharat is there, don't forget that. Maha is there, but Bharat is also there. So it is our country. Now, I'll take this. Mahakali. Mahakali. She's Parmeshwar of her universe honor. Mahakali. Mahakali. Unequal power of universe, Mahakali. No religion to her. She is mother and everyone, mother and father for everyone. Mahakali. Parameshwar Kali, Ramachi Mahapeya, Kali Mahakali, with two god ports and other structures as seen. Alright, move forward. Move forward over it. And I think maybe you enjoy, follow, must enjoy if you have some. And it is Om Namo, Om Namo. We use Om Namo in God's name. So this is same Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo. Same, okay, move forward. And that is this one film well. This one from 92 to 28 use Ramayana Gita. Ramayana Gita. Oh, Ramayana Gita. Ramayana is for Ram and Gita is for Krishna. So both are there, the both. One is for peace, one is teaching, one is idealism, and both are there. So Ramayana Gita. Alright, let me further. We'll go to another one, and that is Chintapurni, another baby. Chintapurni. 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 Alright, another one. Chintapurni door, non-side go to I think few more. It is Saraswati, Devi of Gyan, knowledge. Saraswati, 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 Devi of knowledge. Saraswati, people worship Saraswati before the seminars, some knowledge function. They kindle divas, lights, so that you get knowledge. This is Saraswati. And go to another one. That is, and that is Naina Jawala. Naina means eyes, Jawala means fire, Jawalamukhi, Naina Jawala. They are also Devis, Naina Jawala. Alright, I'll move further. Here. And this is Annapurna. Annapurna means Devi who gives you food, complete food, nutritious food, best food, responsible for that according to culture, according to our Sanskriti, according to Dharma. This is Annapurna. So this is Annapurna. Let's move further. To this is Mahalakshmi, for whom everybody is ready to worship. Money, wealth, Mahalakshmi. People love her, people worship her as mother for money, power of money, Mahalakshmi, great Lakshmi, money giver, wealth giver, homes giver, people like her. And best one, Ganesh Lakshmi, they worship on Diwali. And it is Parvati, spouse of Shiva, Parvati, who is also Annapurna, Parvati, power of Kailash, Parvati, she, God Parvati, I will not call God Parvati. And then I take this one. Oh my God, come on. Don't disturb me. This is, can say, this is just the design of something, you can say shape. It's written Bharat Mata. In Hindi, this is Bharat Mata. In Hindi, Bharat Mata. They are chanting Bharat Mata ki Jai. I did it in 1992. They don't know what these were. I am taking all secular status by plan, and I took it that time when nobody did it. It's not a question of pride, it's a question of feeling, how you feel. You should have a clear mind. No religion is real except human, that's a fact. Then I take this one, of course it's common, I'll be careful. This is Mahavir Swami Jain Sufit. Mahavir Swami Jainism. Mahavir Swami, who is considered initiator of Jains. Mahavir Swami, God. I was in Jain school. I studied there for 11 years from standard 1 to standard 11. I left Jain school in 1971 when I passed my higher secondary education, and went to engineering. So I am vegetarian because of Jainism. I was there for 11 years in that school, Jain school, Daryaganj, and I'm proud to be a proud student of that school, very good school. Actually, and I know I'll go back to our previous talk as usual. I was doing last time. I tried to show you these clips, these you can say engineering clips. This planning engineering, you may say this subject, township or whatever you can call it. For me, it is township. I call this township, and maybe I'm not sure what you thought of this now. You think of this now, it's up to you. But I did my best to have. I'm happy that I could show you these clips, which were not actually transformed to project. No problem. Life is all that. Now I'll move to routine subject as usual, and that is your civil engineering, building construction. I was continuing yesterday. I continued with many talks, and today again I'll move on to this. This was in 92 to 96 work, started giving to publisher in 92, and in 96 was published. Many of these sketches which I showed to you, these have been included, few only, not all, and many more sketches I'll show to you in later, in future, because I cannot show you all in one go. I have to take out from my records. These are all paper, and it's very difficult because it's all paper, graph paper or tracing paper, and these are subject to keep protection with them. Well, I talked to you about till now about what is site management, what is philosophy used for construction management, which stakeholders are there, who are there, what is charter of project. Maybe you don't remember. Charter is started. Charter is a document for every contracting company or whoever consultant, whosoever is there, they must have a charter of project which should give complete package of that project, means from its original point of view, from its feasibility status, from its thinking point of view, means when you start something, from that stage to later on, means it should include what project it is, what budget it is, from where it shall be arranged, who is responsible, who are stakeholders, who is promoter, who are you can say shareholders. All that in brief is included in that chapter of project, and that is actually are not seen within company, but even in many records it's available. It is available. That gives complete information about project, and this means if it is construction is concerned, construction goes to some contractor. Contractor is a stakeholder, engineer is a stakeholder, promoter is a stakeholder, shareholders are a stakeholder, public is a stakeholder, and everybody is vendors are stakeholder. Whatever work they do on that, that's a kind of stake. And we must take in management angle, commercial angle. Everybody has some role to play in that project. That role must be defined briefly or explanatory on that charter. Though it's convention that people know their roles, but it is also convention that people don't know role fully. They must be told their role in excellent, elaborate way. That's my attempt to advise people not to just think what they think is right. Thinking, contemplation must be on paper so that it can be made a communication, it can be communicated to others who want to get information, and that is the reason that lessons learned are also included. Well, I I try to try to, you may say, suggest to you about management, which says what parties are there, and mainly three parties are there on construction contract, and that is promoter or owner and engineer and contractors. But this is not contractual parties. These are project parties. Contact parties are different. When I say contract party, this means there is a management contract or design and supervision contract that exists between owner and engineer in legal terms. Engineer's duty or role is to design and supervise till project is completed since beginning, and also to monitor project, that is on project engineer or monitor project monitor or project responsible, whatever you call it, that person is engineer. Second party on that management contract, whereas owner is first party on that management contract, called employer. You may say employer means promoters, and second party is called engineers. Whereas on other contract there is construction contract that exists between employer owner, first party, and contractor who is employed, so second party. Both contracts are there. Management contracts is a power for designs and for supervision, and contractor is to implement that detail or design which is provided on behalf of employer to contractor. This is triangular relation. And also, contractor can be EPC, which is called engineering, procurement, and construction contractor, in which case design is done by contractor itself, and engineer only monitors or supervises, surveillances, fitness of project. This is general, and I have also talked of roles of engineer, role of employer, role of contractor, their responsibilities, their duties on contract, what they are supposed to do, supposed not to do, and also various other people with engineer, role resident engineer and assistants and technical experts, and with contractor, site agent or project manager, and then down to junior site engineers, other engineers, all, and various meetings it conducted among this management ways, site supervision, site problems, quality issues, safety issues, coordination issues, all that I have tried to advise from this book, which was written. Many pages are there, and activities related issues, and of course construction related issues, various issues, how to manage, how to handle people, how to handle workers, how to handle contractor, how to handle engineer, how to handle owner, how to handle public, how to handle departments or statutory bodies, how to handle all those. Many issues have been done in that. This was, of course, this I cannot say is perfect book. This is just a book written by an engineer like me, who is very small engineer. I cannot say that I'm expert of engineering. Yet one should try its best so that people understand. I say, for example, I just repeat categories, classes of planning that I discussed in this was actually this was main point that I had reflected on. And I just repeat it because I when open this book, I got this page. I'll try to explain what is management all about. This is classes of planning, or you can say categories of, and then after explanations of these categories, I said then preparations of various bills of quantities. Bills of quantity means what quantities are going to be included, what items are going to be included, and then preparation of various building specifications means that's also very important. You can say specify project general or specific for every item what you expect to do on site, and then preparation of various building specifications, that's a general specification, technical specification, physics, or even civil specifications, mechanical specifications, HVAC specifications, electrical specifications, plumbing specifications, external work specifications, firefighting specifications, and you may say anything else, road specifications. Then converting these documents to tender documents or bid documents, and after the shortlisting of pre-qualification of tenderers or bidders, and then floating tenders, closing scrutiny and negotiations, and then tender bond. After that, site handover commencement. Site handover means work is going on, starts at the time commencement of construction, supervision and control till practical completion of contract, complete site clearance by various agencies, etc., and coordination and liaison both contractors, organizational structure levels, etc. Contractors agent, what's that? Internal dealings with contractors, organizations, and dealing at site, and elaboration of coordination and liaison, what a contractor agent is supposed to do, and also you can say liaison again and agents dealing at site, and what other site personnel of contractors should do, and what engineer and engineer personnel should do, correspondences pro forma, swimming pool operations, general activities in building constructions, sports court surfacing and epoxy flooring, knowledge of different types of contracts, some miscellaneous contract items, claims and delay claims, practical completions. This was just, you can say, list I tried to explain to you people who are on sites or would be on sites, and that should be better for you if you have pre-knowledge of that. And I'll explain to you these in details later on. I also explained and showed to you many sketches from this book which I include that time. You can see that these are very. Uh, I also showed to you certain sketches, that is, you can say, swimming pool. I'll just repeat that one in this talk because I am inclined to tell you something about swimming pool, and this is, you can say, a kind of swimming pool which I grow in Doha, Qatar. This this I use there and reproduce it here. This was for a this was for a, you can say, this was done in one arm project deal. This is a competition swimming pool. This is isometric of that, showing how it was shallow and deep and battered and balanced tank and various drains, cut side drains which are prefabricated one, and these are procured as these are shown, as well as how these connections are done, how surface drain is used, and that also you see how it is done because the connections are shown here. This is your how it works. A light is there, inverter light, and this was intended to be shown along with this. This is plan of pool. This was wrong. Now, I'll show you something else also in this, and which I'm going to, because this is very different item. This is structural. There's a balance tank here, this one, and this is here you can see this is your deep end, this is your battered surface, and of course this is other slope continues in this, and then it was you see longitudinal section, plan on section. This is a plan. This is a plan here. You can see this plan, and here I'll say this hand. This is, oh sorry, this is your shallow end, this is your deep end, this is the slope surface, this is you can say balance tank, and this is section of your longitudinal section of this, and these are you can say water bars for sealing water flow, what construction joints are fixing, and this was then I'll move further onto that, and I'll try to show some specific catalog that I got that time, though it is some other companies, yet it can be shown to you, no problem in that, I think. Let me hold on for a minute. I'll have to search it out. Here it is. What this is? Yeah, I got it. Oh, this is jacuzzi. I'm not showing jacuzzi. This is something else. Not jacuzzi. I'll show you. Yes, it is. Okay, okay, fine. Yes, I try to jacuzzi technical bulletin. Let me start with this only. No problem. Not a problem. No problem. Right? Pool water, pool wind pricing, and yes, this is here. Yeah, I'm guessing there. Yeah, I got it. Okay, this is it. So this is general information and swimming pools. Okay. Now this is general information. This is a swimming pool general information. I'll read it for you. Planning, design, and operation. Planning, design, and operation of swimming pools in general consideration, subject to domination or dictation by local codes, formula, and bylaws. Let's now read what it is. What types of swimming pools are there? Residential, you can say in homes, semi-public or semi-commercial, flats, clubs, institutional, public or commercial, recreational centers, such types are there. Residential pools, what it says, above ground, part in ground, part above ground, all are subject to regulations regarding electrical supply, sanitation, fencing or enclosure, and water uses and vary with situation. It says above ground, pool is above ground, means structure is above ground, or it is partly in ground and partly above ground, or all are subject to regulations regarding electrical supply, sanitation, fencing or enclosure, and water uses and vary with situation. Now, above ground pools, what it says, usually sold in package form, fully equipped. Main hydraulic difference between equipment for above and ground pool is lower filter pressure on above ground installations due to absence of extended pipeline, which results in use of filters and accessories designed for above ground application. Part in ground and part above ground. Usually packed pools requiring some excavation on site and transitional between above two types. Generally resemble above ground pools in construction but shall be deep enough for diving and large enough to require conventional filters. Now, in-ground pools, many factors influence design of permanent in-ground pools, which include available space, position in relation to sun and wind, deck areas and dividing facilities, safety, privacy and security, landscaping and aesthetics, location of equipment, room or plant room, total cost of construction and maintenance. Orientation is important with regard to sun, wind, and trees. Combination of direct sunlight and shelter from wind increase pleasure drive from pool and keeps water warm, while trees add to maintenance. However, both sun and shade should be available for complete enjoyment and entertainment. Minimum deck with around Minimum deck width around pool should be 1 meter. Addition of compound walls or fences along with required level of landscape imparts comforts and privacy, promotes safety and does not permit unauthorized use. Sheltered pools need less maintenance due to reduction in airborne dirt. A pool may be covered for safety reasons when not in use, as well as to reduce maintenance, evaporation, and loss of chemicals. Pool cover may be simple, plastics, or fabric, tarpaulin to power-driven folding structures. Indoor pools. Indoor. Construction around indoor pools should incorporate a vapor barrier to isolate pool area from rest of building. Enclosure should be well ventilated to reduce condensation on walls. Windows and ceiling with sufficient space heating to keep temperature of air at least 10 degrees Fahrenheit above that of pool water. With sufficient space heating to keep temperature of air at least 10 degrees Fahrenheit above that of pool water. Access to outdoors for patio. Access to outdoor patio is important in good weather. Various types of enclosures are available which permit year-long use of outdoor pools. Now, construction of residential pools. Choice between several methods of construction for smaller swimming pools must take into account purpose of pool, swimming only or diving included, site conditions, material for construction, cost and maintenance cost regulations. Size of pool. A pool may be as small as 3.6 meter wide and 7.2 meter long. along with a sloping floor giving 1 meter depth at one end and 2 meter at other. This is ordinary pool, you can say. Dimensions of regular pools used for both. There's a figure I show you. Swimming pool diving, but actual shape may be any other free form or irregular. You can say it says shape may be whatever, free form or irregular to suit site and purpose of pool. A safety ledge of 1 meter depth may be constructed around perimeter. Bearing load is not usually a factor in design of a small private pool, but a typical 4.8 meter by 10.2 meter pool can accommodate as many as 15 persons at one time, allowing an area of 3 square meter per person. So 3 square meter per person they are taking. So let us go further. Now here is a table shown for pool. I'll read that one. This is your ordinary pool without any shallow end and deep end. This is, you can see 3 feet is written on one side and other is 6 feet 6 inch 8 feet 6 inches. Yes, and this there's a radius here. The radius 5 feet, and that is from a point 3 feet down from free water level. So I'll read that one. You can see what's written here. Pool size, dimensions are there. I can read from here itself. Width into width, 4.5 meter into 9 meters, and 4.5 into 10.2 meters, and 5.4 into 11.4 meters, then 6 into 12 meters, 7.5 into 15 meters, and dimensions A, B, C as shown. What are A and what are B? You can see here. What are A, B, and C? And the dimensions are given here, and you can read yourself if you can. I just hold this table for 2-3 minutes here, so you can read it. No problem for that. I read. A is in one case 9 3.6 2.4, and other one is 10.2 3.6 3.6, 11.4 3.6 4.8, 12 3.6 5.4, 15 4.8 7.2, and these are their capacities. This is liters is given. So it's not big deal. You can just read this. As I said, it's a big deal here. This is pool drawing. This is written depth of 2.5 meter. 2.5 meter recommended for diving. For diving from a board, not more than 0.6 meter above. I'll read it out from here. I don't see there above deck level. So it's there now. Chain dotted line indicates alternative form of construction. Well, leave it now. See, semi-commercial and semi-public pools. Commercial and public pools, with many of considerations for private and residential pools, including several methods of construction, also apply to semi-commercial and semi-public pools. Majority of large pools shall be concrete construction, and dimension is, I have shown to you dimension of rectangular pool which serves as guide for designs. It's not mandatory, but design guide is there. It's in public interest that regulations governing design, construction, and operations of various types should be much more comprehensive for public, institutional, and commercial than for private and residential pools. Consequently, they should be taken into considerations from initiation of planning. Pools for competitive swimming, diving, and water polo should incorporate requirements of various athletic organizations. The size of pool, size of small semi-commercial or semi-public pool can be determined on basis of 3.4 square meter per person. At maximum capacity after probable usage has been estimated from population of building or size of organization. Attendance at the pool or commercial pool depends on such factors as size of community, weather and pool temperature, convenience and adjacent facilities, competition from beaches and other pools, admission fee. Now examples are given here. Following examples which give size of community and other maximum attendance sources guide to pool size, although local regulations vary considerably and shall subject to different interpretation. Now I'm reading population. Second column is maximum attendance, third is pool size. Population is 4,000. Maximum attendance is 500 per person. 1/8 is taking. This is 12 meter by 18 meter size of pool. 6,000 population, maximum attendance is 800. So this is 1/8, and this is also, I think, well, around that 12.6 into 24.6. When it's 10,000, it is 1100, then 15 into 30. When it's 20,000 population, 2,000 is maximum attendance, means 10% approximately, and 19.2 into 49.5, quite long pool. And it's a 40,000 population, means maximum attendance is 3100, less than 10%, and pool size is 22.5 to 49.2. What it means is when your population is less, you are taking more percentage of people's attendance, and your population is more, you are taking less attendance of people. There you can show this table. This is just, I'm not verifying this table because this is not from my records. This is from this catalog, and this catalog is giving this in this book is included, and this is here. You can use this if you wish, if you have a chance, or it's up to you. I'm just informing you what is here. And just from which company I took time. Let me see. I don't remember now. Well, no problem. I don't remember what to do. Anyway, we'll move further on this. So, proportionate attendance at outdoor public pool is usually higher in a smaller community than in large community, as I just narrated. Studies showing following for a sample of cities with population below 30,000. Average daily attendance is 2 to 3% of population. This is studied in statistics. And maximum daily attendance 5 to 10% of population, and maximum at any time is 1/3 of daily attendance. So daily attendance is 1/3 at maximum, 1 hour, 2 hour, 1/3 of daily attendance. So it's not big deal. In absence of regional and local regulations, a method of sizing an outdoor pool generously for average days and adequately for busy shall be to allow 1.86 square meter of combined pool and immediate deck area per person at a maximum planned capacity of entire pool enclosure. Final dimensions should include length, depth, and areas required for athletic competitions and deep water platforms and other high diving. High diving can be provided in bays away from state. Away. Let me read it again. In absence of regional and local regulations, if there are no regulations, a method of sizing an outdoor pool generously for average days and adequately for busy shall be to allow 1.86 square meter of combined pool and immediate deck area. Combined pool and immediate deck area. So you are taking a scope of deck area. So per person at maximum planned capacity of entire pool enclosure. So here you are getting benefit of reduced size. Final dimension should include length, depth, and area required for athletic competition, deep water platform, and other high diving can be. So here is a sketch which says radius at bottom. What should be? You can say it is giving A. It is giving dimensions. I'll show you. It's giving A as well as E, D, C, B. So A, B, C, D, E. A is total length of pool. B is length of deep end. C is battered. D is battered, and then E is shallow end, and then H is one depth. G is another depth. F is another depth, and L is a point of center where radius of below curve is taken. So these sizes are from 6 meter by 12 meters to 22.5 to 49.2 meters. This table I'll show you. This dimension is given, approximate capacity is given. You can just have a look on this. I'm not going to speak because this will take time. This is there. A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever is written here. G, H, J, K, L, M, all dimensions are there as I just spoke, and it is given here 6 meter, 12 meter, 7.5 by 15 meter, 9 by 18 meter, 12.6.24.6 meter, 15 by 24.6 meter, 15 by 30 meters, 19.2 meter, 49.2, 49.2, 22.5 to 49, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, and then approximate capacity in liters. This is given here. So this is black and white sketch, and this is for design purpose, only for reference. We are not going to do that, but yes, just for information, it should be done. It should be as it is. So we will move down over the other one. Then dimensions are normal daily. It says these dimensions are normal only and do not provide for electronic finishing. Okay, that's fine in structural dimensions. And timing devices on poles used for competitions. Actual dimensions of such poles should be in accordance with specifications of athletic organizations. An Olympic size pool is 50 meters long, Olympic size, into 16 meter wide for 6 lanes and 20 meter for 8 lanes. So 50 by 16 or 15 by 15 long and 16 wide for 6 lanes and 21 in place of 16 for 8 lanes. This is international 15 into 16 and 15 into 21. Following items should be arranged in accordance with requirements of athlete organizations. What are the requirements? Those requirements are dimensions of okay, extent of deep water in front and on both sides of board or platform. This is considered, extent of deep water. Then spacing of multiple diving boards and platforms. In addition, spacing of that is also seen. In addition, width of deck. Width of deck should be sufficient to accommodate towers of standard construction. Understand? Width of deck should be sufficient to accommodate towers of standard construction, so that expense of special towers with side ladders is avoided. If if a board with quick adjustable fulcrum is mounted on platform, there should be a safety and there should be a safety handrail on side where fulcrum adjustments are made. Maximum gradient of pool bottom in diving well must not exceed 1 vertical to 2 horizontal. 1 vertical to 2 horizontal. This is, you see, means maximum gradient of pool bottom of in diving well. Well, depth at shallow end depends on purpose of pool. Bathing pools used by children can be shallower than minimum of 1 meter. Minimum depth of water for competitive swimming pool is 1.07 meter. Okay, go further. Minimum requirement for diving. Diving dimension F, as we showed in that sketch, is 2.6 meters. Suitable for purpose. If it is 2.6 meters, diving board not more than 0.6 meter above water level. If it's 3.6 meters, 1 meter diving tower. 3.9 meters, 3 meter diving tower. 5 meter diving platform. It's 4.2 meters, 6.5 meter diving platform. When it's 4.5 meters, 7.2 meter diving platform. 4.8 meters, 10 meter diving platform. So these are varying from 2.6 meters to 2.6 meter to 3.6 meter to 3.9 meters to 4.2 meters to 4.5 meters and 4.8 meters, and that is respectively for diving board not more than 0.6 meter above water level, 1 meter diving tower, 3 meter diving tower, 5 meter diving platform, 6.5 diving platform, 7.5 meter diving platform, 10 meter diving platform, which is given in this table. You can just have a look on this. So it's the clear requirements of diving. You see, depth is increasing means diving height is increasing and platform size is increasing. You can say dimension of depth from 2.6 to 4.4, this is on increase, goes from 2.6 to 3.6, means diving tower is 1 meter at 3.6, then 3.9, in first case 2.6 it is 0.6 meter, then in 3.6 1 meter, diving tower 3.9 is 3 meter diving tower with 5 meter diving platform, then 4.2 6.5 meter means it's a bigger one, diving platform, then 4.5 is 7.5 meter diving platform, and then 4.6 10 meter diving platform. So depth increase means size and height by increases. This is simple. Then we say general remarks applying to all pools. What are the general remarks? Okay. Working drawings should be prepared by qualified engineer or architect. So you are that working for design of swimming pool. So working drawing should be prepared by qualified engineer or architect. I should say engineer is better, and then your services are there and structural drilling is there. So architect is written, but no problem. Materials of construction must be chemically inert for application, not chemical reactive. Inert. Design of pool shell, SHELL, design of pool shell and deck, and layout of pipes, fittings, pumps, filters, and heaters should allow for winterizing and maintenance. Smooth walls and floors with rounded corners are easy to clean. Round corners also adds strength. Deck should have non-slip surface, sloped so that surface water cannot enter to contaminate pool. Sufficient deck drains are necessary to prevent puddles. Special attention should be paid to grounding and bonding of all non-current carrying metal. What I am saying again, special attention should be paid to grounding and bonding of all non-current carrying metal, parts of conduits, right? Grounding and bonding all non-current carrying metal parts of conduits, piping systems, pools, reinforcing steel, lighting fixtures, including forming shells, junction boxes, fences within 3 meters of pool, ladders, diving board supports, and like, which must be bonded together and connected to a common ground. This and other important electrical requirements for swimming pools are dealt separately with an article according to National Electrical Code. Then a complete pool installation comprises of what it says, it comprises of pool shell as described previously, shell inside a pool, then functional requirement in and around pool such as ladders is functional, underwater lights functional, life rings functional, and diving boards functional, because all these items have certain functions. Ladders to rise, underwater lights to illumine, life rings to protection of the safety, and diving boards to jump in to climb down. And recirculation system for filtering, heating if necessary. This is disinfecting pool water. A maintenance equipment of removing dirt and debris from pool surface, walls and floor. Now functional equipment. What it says, access. How to access? Two-thread ladder. Two-thread ladder for water depth of less than 1.2 meters, means up to 1.2 meters. Two-thread ladders works. Then three-thread ladders up to 1.2 to 1.5 meters. 3 thread ladders for water depth of 1.2 to 1.5 meter. Then 4 thread ladders for depth more than 1.5 meter. Stair rail for use with built-in stairs. Stair rail for use with built-in stairs. Grab rails for use with recessed steps. Well, diving. Residential springboards 1.2 to 2.4 meter long at deck level. Residential diving boards 2.5 to 2.4 to 3.6 meter long on standards 0.45 to 0.6 meter above water level. Pool slides, heavy duty diving boards 3 and 3.6 meter long on stands 0.6 meter and 1 meter above water level. Diving boards 4.2 meters and 4.8 meters long on towers with adjustable fulcrum 1 and 3 above water level. Diving platforms at 1.5, 2 and 3 meters above water level. Then refer to figures regarding depth of water required for diving, okay, in competition. Rope floats competition. Rope floats, cup anchors and rope hooks for racing lanes starting. Platform stanchions post. Now for safety, life ring and life hook. Lifeguard chair, 1 chair per 185 square meter of pool area or surface. Rope, floats, cup anchors and rope hooks for safety lines. Then gas mask where gas chlorinator is used. Underwater lights and ground fault detectors. A minimum of 7.2 watt per square meter of pool. 7.2 watt per square meter of pool surface is necessary to provide safe, attractive underwater lighting. Light should be directed away from house or deck area to prevent glare, and best illumination should be at the end. Recirculation system. Well, you may not be able, I'll just glimpse of that table. So I explain to you that's in numbers, that's in dimensions. So this is functional equipments, and then I'll go to this one. All right, then I'll come here. Recirculation system. Recirculation system includes all pipes, fittings, and equipment concerned with filtering, heating, and disinfecting pool water. With pool water treatment, same water recirculates continually, thus providing multiple opportunity for removal of suspended dirt, destruction of organisms, and maintenance of an equable temperature. Equable temperature. Same time, water is subject to continual recontamination by seeds, algae, bacteria, dead skin, lint, cosmetic oils, food, clay, sand, and such like. Nevertheless, net result is that water retained in a swimming pool represents valuable savings compared with filtering, heating, and disinfecting raw make of water. Principal component of recirculation system performs as follows. Main outlet. Let me show you a sketch first. This is a sketch here. And I'll read it now. Main outlet is located at deepest point. Outlet, right? The deepest point of pool on end of suction piping from filter. Pump drawing water from bottom of pool where dirt accumulates and permits complete drainage of pool for maintenance purpose. Often incorporates a hydro relief valve for admitting groundwater to an empty pool to prevent shell from floating should groundwater rise above bottom of pool. Installation of hydro relief valve is strongly recommended for all concrete and fiberglass pools. So it says in this that it is schematic diagram of recirculation system. I'll show you again for reference so that you can understand that. I will not hold it for long, just to indicate what it is. Then now what it says actually, I'll read it for you. It says there's a shelf here given. This says in this shelf is water, you can see shown by a thing. Then wind direction is shown, and return fitting is shown, skimmer is shown, then return fitting is shown, and then skimmer, then main outlet with hydro relief valve is shown, a deep end. This outlet goes out and connects to outside ring, which is suction line. Skimmer is there first, then suction line, and then there is pump, and before pump is here and lint strainer, so that all here and lint is strained out and pump is there. Then there's a filter out of which is waste, and after filter there's a heater if required and chemical feeder, and then there's a complete return line. A sketch simply shows that, you can read that, that's not a big deal. So we can say circulation system is that one. Then I'll say automatic skimmer. An automatic skimmer is mounted on pool water at water level. Automatic skimmer is mounted on pool wall, wall of pool at water level and connects to a branch of suction piping from filter pump. Purpose is to promote surface flow across pool. Besides drawing in water, which requires most treatment because of exposure to sun, wind, and rain, it also removes floating dust and debris, leaves, and oil films before they can accumulate on floors and walls. A combination skimmer connects directly into line between main outlet and filter pump. A combination skimmer connects directly into line between main outlet and filter pump. A combination skimmer connects directly into line between main outlet and filter pump. It incorporates a trimmer valve which divides total flow through filter between that across surface of pool and that through main outlet. It makes a further contribution to simple pipe work if it also provides a connection for hose of vacuum cleaner. Number of skimmers required depends on size and purpose of pool. Their arrangement on a small outdoor pool should promote surface flows across pool in connection with return fittings and prevailing wind. Skimmers are essential for a pool which receives only a periodic attention, whereas a large pool with full attendance may have an overflow gutter instead of skimmers. Overflow gutter extends around pool at water level and incorporates drains at frequent intervals. These feed into a recirculation tank connected to filter pump. Principal function of recirculation tank is to salvage treated water, which would otherwise go to sewer. It is arranged to prevent air being drawn into filter pump, allows convenient introduction of raw water ahead of filters and other apparatus. Recirculation tank should have a capacity of 40.75 liters for each square meter of pool surface. Hair and lint strainers. are provided in skimmers and at inlet of filter pump. They catch air and large particles which would otherwise accumulate inside system to clog pumps, piping or filter. Emptying hair and lint strainer is part of daily maintenance to keep the circulation system working at top efficiency. Now filter pump, recirculation pump. Better I take a drop of water so that I may not tire myself. Those little okay. Uh, Filter pump, recirculation pump is called centrifugal type filter pump develops capacity and pressure to suit size of filter and resistance of the recirculation system. It may be either self-priming or non-priming design. A self-priming mounted at or above deck level is capable of exhausting air from suction system and raising water from pool to establish and maintain operation. It can also operate vacuum cleaner. A non-priming pump operates satisfactorily where mounted below deck level because pool water keeps pump and suction system full of water at all times. It's unsuitable for operating a vacuum cleaner, which requires a separate vacuum pump in this case. In practice, many small filter systems use self-priming pumps because they adapt to installation either above or below pool water level. They also have semi-open impellers which are less susceptible to clogging than closed impellers of equal size. Large filters for public and commercial use pools often empty non-priming pumps where either filter room is below pool water level or special arrangements exist for priming pump. Pump incorporates closed impellers whose large waterways are unlikely to become clogged. Most filter pumps have mechanical shaft seals for which treated water provides an ideal application. Unlike a stuffing box, mechanical shaft seal requires attention nor adjustments, and neither shall it leak nor may it be tightened to overload motor. When a seal fails, it must be replaced by a new one. I repeat this. Most filter pumps have mechanical shaft seals for which treated water provides an ideal application. Unlike stuffing box, a mechanical shaft seal requires attention, not adjustments, and neither shall it leak nor may it be tightened to overload motor. When a seal fails, it must be replaced by a new one. Some pumps incorporate some pumps incorporate a check valve in front of hair and lint strainer. However, additional valves in suction and pool return lines may be necessary to prevent inconvenience and loss of water during maintenance. Where pump is above pool water level, checking check valve prevents water draining from suction pipe. When hair and lint strainer is opened, if pump does not have a built-in check valve, either a separate check valve or a gate valve may be installed in suction line for same purpose. In addition to valve in suction line, use of a gate valve in pool return line is necessary to prevent hair and lint strainer from emptying because of siphon action through filter. This use of valves ensures a quick return to service because system remains full of water so that repriming is unnecessary. Where pump is below full water level, a check valve is ineffective. Gate valves in suction and pool return lines are essential to prevent a flood in filter pit when air and lint stirrer opened. Now, filter removes insoluble. What function of filter? Filter removes insoluble, suspended matter from recirculated water. Now, as dirt accumulates, as dirt accumulates within filter pump cannot maintain required rate of flow against increased resistance. Consequently, filter requires regular cleaning or backwashing to maintain its efficiency. There are four principal types of filters for swimming pools. Maybe is in long back, vacuum, diatomaceous earth, vacuum, diatom, diatomaceous earth, pressure, diatomaceous earth, rapid sand pressure, high rate sand pressure. Now, schematic diagram is shown above, which I showed to you. No need of showing that. All right, now pressure diatomaceous earth filter. Let us see what it is. Pressure dio, dia, dia, tomaceous, diatomaceous earth filter. A typical pressure, that is particular pressure filter contains an arrangement. Typical pressure DE, diatomaceous earth filter. A typical pressure DE filter contains an arrangement of hollow element covered with filler cloth. Pump forces water through element from outside to a central manifold. Filter cloth serves as support for coating of diatomaceous earth, which forms filter media, filter medium and traps dirt. By reversing flow, both dirt and diatomaceous earth are flushed to waste during backwashing so that coating procedure must be repeated when filter is returned to service. Operating cycle can be prolonged. Operating cycle can be prolonged by adding diatomaceous earth at intervals continually on large filters and by using mechanical means periodically to disturb coating diatomaceous. Now, diatomaceous earth filters generally require more maintenance in time and materials than sand filters. Hmm. Sand filters is called rapid sand filter. A rapid sand filter contains a layer of fine silica sand supported on a graded bed of gravel. Filter pump forces water slowly 122 liters to 204 liters per minute per square meter down through filter bed where top layer of sand traps dirt. By using an upward flow of water for backwashing at 4 or 5 times filtering rate, 5 times filtering rate, sand can be agitated to release dirt which is flushed to waste. High rate sand filter. A high rate filter contains a deep bed of very fine silica sand supported on mechanical underdrain Filter pump forces water down through filter bed at high rate 612 to 816 liters per liters pm per square meter, where that penetrates sand to a considerable depth. Thus, this gives high rate sand filters a much greater dirt holding capacity than rapid sand filter of equal size. Backwashing is carried out Backwashing is carried out at about same rate as filtering 122 liter per square meter, which makes pump selection more easier than for a rapid sand filter. Filter area. This is surface area of filter medium exposed to flow of unfiltered water. For a sand filter, it equals a cross-sectional area of tank. For a diatomaceous earth filter, it equals total useful area of element. Now flow rate, basic to type of filter with valves shown below. Type of filter, flow rate per square meter of filter area. Diatomaceous earth flow rate per square meter of filter area is 40.72 liters pm. Then rapid sand is 122 to 204 liters pm per square meter. This is the surface area of filter medium exposed to flow of unified water for a sand filler. It was a cross-sectional area of tank. For diameter filter equals total useful area of all dimensions. So flow rate per square meter. So I say diameter search 40.72 liters per square per minute. Rapid sand fill is 122,204. High rate sand is 612 to 16816. Filter rate is equal to flow rate into filter area. Then turnover time represents number of hours required to recirculate total capacity of pool. Turnover time, whole water is turnover. Turnover time represents number of hours required to recirculate total capacity of pool through filter. Pool capacity equal to pool capacity divided by filter rate and shell is subject to total regulations, but for guidance following values could be used. What are these values? These are class of pool, then contamination, and then turnover time. So residential, it is light, contamination is light. In residential pool, it's not very heavy. So turnover time can be 8 to 12 hours. In apartment, hotels, clubs means these are moderate and it can be 8 hours. In public and institutional pools, this is heavy, 6 to 8 hours. In institutional children, this is very heavy, it's 4 hours. Then wedding pools is extra heavy, it's okay, 1.5 to 3 hours. Then health spas, Roman baths, hot water extra heavy, this is 1 to 2. So this is just given here. This is table here, you can see that. Uh, yeah. Oh my God, come on. Yeah. Static force between two papers, Static force, bonding force between papers. Now, wedding pools and Roman baths are often adjacent to larger swimming pools, but they should always have separate circulation system. What's a filter size or filter? Maybe you're doing both how technical data, minimum data. No, it's not boring. It's knowledge. You are engineer, field engineer. Specifications for filters usually relate filter models to pool capacities and turnover time determined on following basis. Determine filter rate from pool capacity and turnover time required from As flow rate is equal to pool capacity divided by turnover time. This is flow rate. Pool capacity divided by turnover time. Then calculate filter area from flow rate. You got flow rate. Calculate filter area from flow rate for type of filter to be used, and that is filter area equal to filter rate, which you got filter rate over flow rate, filter rate over flow rate. So you are getting filter area. To select size and number of filters to match filter area required. So you have an option there. You have to work out like this technically and see what size of filter you need, what type of filter do you need. Pool heater. There's a pool heater, then chemical feeders, then return fittings, then hydro air fittings, and then we'll talk of maintenance equipment, vacuum fittings, automatic cleaning devices, hydro massage, pool water chemistry. This is all we are going to discuss. Pool water chemistry along with chlorine gas chemistry will cover that. So now going down, oh, this is a lot of boring and boring and boring and boring. No problem, I am boring. We have talked of filter size, now talk of pool heater. Pool heater. Need for pool heater depends on purpose of pool and general climate. A heated pool is more enjoyable at all times and extends the season at both ends by at least a month. Heater is connected into loop in return line. Heater is connected into a loop in return line from filter and may either be gas fired, oil fired, or electric, or consists of a heat exchanger where steam or hot water service is available. Heater is more vulnerable to lime deposits. Heater is more vulnerable to lime deposits and corrosion than pool equipment. As a result, it should be checked frequently during early weeks of operation to ensure that it suffers no adverse effects from pool water chemistry. And chemical feeders. We have more. Just one. Pool chemical feeders. Chemical for disinfection. Chemical for disinfection and other purposes are usually added after water has passed through filter. After water has passed through filter, chemicals are added for disinfection. There are so many varieties of feeding required equipments that no attempt is made to deal with them except to emphasize importance of applying any equipment in strict accordance with instructions which accompany it as manufacturer's instructions. Means you have to follow that. Again, I am reading. There are so many varieties of feeding equipments that no attempt is made to deal with them except to emphasize importance of applying equipment in strict accordance with instructions which accompany with it as manufacturer's instructions. This means we are obliged to comply with manufacturer's instruction for purpose of feeding equipment of chemicals. Return fittings. Return fittings in pool valve below water level control the flow rate and direction of filtered water entering the pool. Their arrangement on a small outdoor pool is usually to promote surface flows in conjunction with skimmers and prevailing winds. Directional return fittings have advantage of adjustments to set center body of water circulating in same direction as water entering pool. That is return fittings. It is return fittings in pool wall, below water level control, flow rate. Return fittings in pool wall, below water level control, flow rate, and direction of filter water entering pool. Their arrangement on a small outdoor pool is usually to promote surface flows in conjunction with skimmers and prevailing winds. Directional return fittings have advantage. Directional return fittings have advantage of adjustments to set entire body of water circulating in same direction as water entering pool. Mhm. Directional return fittings have advantage of adjustments to set entire body of water circulating in same direction as water entering pool. Hydro air fittings. Hydro air fittings. So it's around 6. Okay. Hydro air fittings. One or more of return fittings on a residential pool may be of hydrotherapy variety. To obtain maximum effect for hydromassage, filter is bypassed. Filter is bypassed and alternative return fittings are closed, thus diverting entire pump output directly to hydro air fittings. While foregoing is an economical arrangement, most filter pumps are too small to give effective hydromassage action in swimming pool. In addition, users often forget to put filter back into operation afterward or fail to open other return fittings, thus upsetting condition and circulation of water. Best arrangement is to separate hydro air system having its own pump and recirculation pipe work. Okay, now maintenance equipment which require consideration during design and construction of pool. This is vacuum fittings. Vacuum fittings are necessary where a permanent vacuum line is installed for maintenance purpose. Vacuum line may connect either to suction system or filter pump on small pools or vacuum pump on large pools. Vacuum fitting is mounted on pool water. Vacuum fittings are necessary where a permanent vacuum line is installed for maintenance purpose. Vacuum line may connect either to suction system of filter pump or filter pump pool wall below water level and is kept plugged except when hose of vacuum cleaner is connected to it by means of hose to wall adapter. Read again. Vacuum fittings. This is vacuum fittings are necessary where a permanent system vacuum line is installed for maintenance purposes. Nothing like this, yeah. For maintenance purposes, right? Vacuum line may connect either to suction system of filter pump, pool valve, filter pump, pool valve below water level, and is kept plugged except when hose of vacuum cleaner is connected to it by means of hose to wall adapter. Vacuum cleaner should discharge. Vacuum cleaner should discharge to waste only when handling heavy dirt which would impose a heavy load on filter. During normal maintenance, it should discharge to either for filter or solution tank to avoid loss of treated and heated water. Vacuum fittings are not essential equipment. Let me say, vacuum fittings are not essential equipment. Many small pools need no separate vacuum line as vacuum cleaner can be connected into skimmers to reach all parts of pool. On large pools, a portable vacuum cleaner pump with a long power cord is used in preference to a stationary vacuum pump with a permanent vacuum line. Automatic cleaning devices. Automatic cleaning devices are available for performing most of day-to-day maintenance within pool. These require special provision for electric or hydraulic power. Hydromassage, a relaxing therapy obtained with a unique process of mixing air and water, giving a wide range of beneficial effects, result of which is combined action of three factors: water pressure, air agitation, and temperature. An incorrect balance of these factors cancel the desired effect. Cancel desired effect. Incorrect balance of these factors. Factors are which one? These are air, water, giving wide range of beneficial effects, use of which is combined action of these three factors: water pressure, air agitation, and temperature. The incorrect balance of these factors cancels desired effect. Only well only well proven and scientifically tested processes guarantee a proper and scientific hydromassage action. Flow of small bubbles of predetermined size is actually mixed with water flow, not merely added to it. At 35 to 36 degrees Celsius temperature, blood circulation and body muscles structure is stimulated as with a penetrating and thorough massaging carried out by expressed fingers. Experienced fingers, I'm sorry, not expressed fingers, experienced fingers. Once again, I read it, no confusion, I read it better. Flow of small bubbles of predetermined size is actually mixed with water. Flow, not merely added to it. At 35 to 36 degrees Celsius temperature, blood circulation and body muscles structure is stimulated as with penetrating and thorough massage carried out by experienced fingers. Pool water chemistry. As untreated water provides an environment which encourages rapid growth of organisms, water in swimming pool must be continuously filtered and treated to prevent creation of health hazard. Its quality must equal or exceed standard prescribed for drinking water. While filtration makes water clear, while filtration makes water clear and attractive by removing suspended matter, chemical treatment of invisible contamination is vital to safe operation and proper maintenance of pool. Purpose of chemical treatment is to disinfect pool water by killing algae, bacteria and viruses. As process upsets chemical balance, as process upsets chemical balance, secondary treatment is necessary to prevent discomfort to bathers and damage to pool, pool and equipments. Hmm. Additional treatment may be necessary to precipitate dissolved material minerals for removal of removal by either filler or vacuum cleaner. Following discussions relates particular principally to application of chlorine and compounds for disinfecting swimming pools because these these are chemicals in common use. Initial dose of chemical must Initial dose of chemicals must exceed chlorine demand. Initial dose of chemical must exceed chlorine demand of pool, which is amount required 1. 1 to kill all bacteria present, 2 to oxidize all other organic matters, and number 3 to satisfy chemical reaction with inorganic substance. After this we can read, we will discuss. No problem. Tired but no problem. Continue because I have some mission and I also resort these drawings. I have to keep them back when I took this. Obviously, although time consuming job, but no problem. What to do? It is all job. And I took these drawings very differently. It was lying in package for many years, dusted one. I took them out, and of course there are so many structural drawings. I'll show you later on. Many specimen of the structural lattice designs and all that. I'll show you later on. I cannot show you in one day. I'll keep them there and then we'll talk together because this township is also very important from management viewpoint. Though it was not done, but no problem. What to do? Life's life. It's also not done, which I'm reading to you. It's also not just in dissemination of information, nothing else. So let me just stretch my leg and sit this way for 5 minutes. I talk to you differently. Yeah. Okay. My legs cause problems sometimes because of slightly stretching all the time. Okay. I read that again. While filtration makes water clear and attractive by removing suspended matter, chemical treatment of invisible contamination is vital to safe operation and proper maintenance of pool. Purpose of chemical treatment is to disinfect pool water by killing algae, bacteria and viruses. As process upsets chemical balance, secondary treatment is necessary to prevent discomfort to bathers and damage to pool and its equipments. Additional treatment may be necessary to precipitate dissolved material minerals for removal by either filter or vacuum cleaner. Following discussion relates principally to Application of chlorine and its compounds for disinfecting swimming pools because there are chemicals in common use. Initial dose of chemical must exceed chlorine demand of pool, which is the amount required. One is to kill all bacteria present. Number two, to oxidize all areas organic material, and to strictly chemical or chemical operation reactions with ignoring substances. This phase This phase of treatment is complete when tests show existence of stable chlorine residual for attacking continual contamination from bathers and other sources. Residual company comprises residual This residual comprises very active very active uncombined chlorine, free residual, and less active chlorine. In chemical combination, in chemical combination with other substances combined residuals, chlorine must be added continually to maintain residual of chlorine, but amount varies considerably from day to day depression, day to day depending on weather and bathing both bathing load. The addition of chlorine gas to water results in formation of hydrochloric acid. Paragraph reading is difficult sometimes. So residual, yeah. I said this phase of treatment is complete when tests show existence of stable chlorine residual for attacking attacking continual contamination from bathers and other sources. This residual comprise very active uncombined chlorine, free residual, and less active chlorine. Alright. This residue comprises very active uncombined chlorine, free residual, and less active chlorine in chemical combination with other substances. Combined residual. Chlorine must be added continually to maintain residual of chlorine, but amount varies consequently from material. Chlorine must be added continually to maintain residual of chlorine, but amount varies combined considerably from day to day depending on weather and bathing load. Addition of chlorine gas to water results in formation of hydrochlorous and hydrochloride acids. Hydrochloric acids is very ice. Well, chlorine must be added continually to maintain residual chlorine, but amount varies considerably from day to day depending on weather and bathing load. Weather and WHER. Addition of chlorine gas to water retains in the formation of. So this change Wait. Hydrochlorous acid is very unstable. I said formation of hypochlorous and hydrochloric acids. Addition of chlorine gas to water results in formation of hypochlorous and hydrochlorous. Okay. Yes. I think I'm feeling hypochlorous as the addition of chlorine gas to water results in formation of hypochlorous and hydrochloric acid. Hypochlorous acid is very unstable. Hypochlorous is very unstable and breaks down readily for disinfection purpose. Hydrochloric acid contributes nothing to treatment process and so increases acidity of water. Change in change in Hmm. Okay, I read it further. I'm trapped in chlorine, I think. Hypochlorous acid is very unstable and breaks down readily for disinfection purpose. Hydrochloric acid contributes nothing to treatment process and so increases acidity of water. Hydrochloric acid increases acidity of water. Okay. This change is acidity is typical side effect of any process of disinfection and requires additional chemicals to counteract it. Excessive counterpart, counteraction in this case would result in too much alternative, too much result in too much alkalinity. It says excessive contraction in this case would result in too much alkalinity. So hydrochlorous acid is very unstable. Hydrochlorous acid is very unstable and breaks down readily for disinfection purpose. Hydrochloric acid contributes nothing. Hydrochloric acid contributes nothing to treatment process, so increases acidity of water. This change in acidity is a typical side effect of any water process of disinfection and requires additional additional chemicals to counteract it. Excessive contraction in this case would result in too much alkalinity. Acidity and alkalinity are measured by pH concentration. This is a log of system. Excess contraction in this case would result in too much alkalinity. Acidity and alkalinity are measured by pH concentration. This is a logarithm system with values below 7 for acidity and value above 7 for alkalinity. So below 7 acidity, you know pH value, alkalinity 7 being neutral, neither acid nor alkaline. Acid water fosters. Acid water fosters corrosion of metal parts. Acid water fosters corrosion of metal parts, which can lead to expense of replacing heaters, filters, and other equipments. Alkaline water causes mineral deposits and interfere with disinfection. pH for convenience. Then foregoing shows that correct level of chlorine, residual and pH concentrations are essential to satisfactory pool operation. Pool owners use simple test kits to check chlorine residual and pH concentration daily. Acceptable values fall within limit of even below. Now, what is that chemical factor? I'll show you this now. This is now chemical factor: free chlorine, residual with chlorine and hypochlorite, cyanurates, and pH concentration. The three values are there. Column is chemical factor. Swimming pools, drinking water, what is this? Chemical factors. Free chlorine, residual with chlorine and hypochlorite. Swimming pools, it is 0.3 to 0.7 ppm parts per million, and drinking water is 0.2 to 0.6 ppm. Cyanurates 1 to 2 in swimming pools and nothing in drinking water. pH concentration in swimming pools 7.2 to 7.6, in drinking water 7.2 to 8. So this is that, read that, chemicals. Right? Okay, then a third factor in a pool chemistry is total alkalinity. So we have this total alkalinity. This refers to quantity of alkaline minerals in water, which should be from 80 to 100 ppm. Becomes significant in residential pool only when a chlorine condition persists in spite of normal levels of chlorine residual and pH concentration. Total alkalinity must not be confused with pH concentration, which refers to balance between alkalinity and acid substance. A steady reading for chlorine residual is only possible by continual addition of chemicals to replace chlorine expended to disinfect contamination from raw water, bathers, and airborne sources. And that dissipated by evaporation and sunlight. Methods of feeding chlorine into water to meet chlorine demand vary with chemicals used and forms in which they are supplied. Several systems of chlorination and pH control are described in following regards. Alright, it says method of feeding chemicals into water to meet chlorine demand vary with chemicals used and forms in which they are supplied. Several systems of chlorination and pH control are described in following discussions. Chlorine gas Cl2, next is calcium hypochlorite, that is Ca bracket C ICIO, C1O octave, then sodium hypochlorite NaOCl, then cyanorutate and superchlorination, then other pool chemicals breakdown. So we'll discuss this now. Now it says, I'll discuss as much as possible because knowledge is power and power is power and engineers are power. Maybe you people don't prefer this to know, but sometimes when you are managing, you are controlling some project, you may have to construct swimming pool there. So what is a chlorine gas? Let us say Cl2, chlorine, chemical name Cl2. As it is elemental, chlorine in elements, you have seen this chlorine is there, Cl2. As it is elemental, chlorine gas is most concentrated and inexpensive form of chlorine, but such reasons as safety, cost of equipment, and type of secondary treatment limit use of that to large pools. A gas calorinator allows chlorine to flow at constant rate from high pressure cylinder into a return pipe from filter. Chemical reaction between chlorine gas and water produces hypochlorous and hydrochloric acid. Hypochlorous acid is useful disinfectant. Hydrochloric acid, which is an unwanted product, requires secondary treatment. Because of sorry. Chemical reaction between chlorine disinfectant, hydrochloric acid, which is an unwanted product, requires secondary treatment because of its adverse effect on pH concentration. This treatment consists of a chemical pot feeding a solution of soda ash, that is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, into water entering filter. Alkaline soda ash neutralizes acid, which would otherwise reduce pH concentration. Said soda ash are required at the rate of 1.25 to 1.5 liters. Yes. LD. It's of course I'm not chemical engineer, but better as is as it is elemental. Chlorine gas is most concentrated and inexpensive form of chlorine, but such reasons are safety, cost of equipment, and type of secondary treatment limit use of that to large pools. So you cannot use for large pools. You have to find some solution for that. A gas chlorinator allows chlorine to flow at a constant rate from a high pressure cylinder into return pipe from filter. Chemical reaction between chlorine gas and water produces hypochlorous and hydrochloric acid. Hypochlorous acid is uh, chemical reaction between chlorine gas and water produces hypochlorous and hypochloric acid. Hypochlorous acid is useful disinfectant. Hydrochloric acid, which is an unwanted product, requires secondary treatment because of its advice because of an adverse effect. Bottom, because of its adverse effect on pH concentration. This treatment consists of chemical pots feeding a solution of soda ash, sodium carbonate into water entering filter. Alkaline soda ash neutralizes acid, which would otherwise reduce fire pH. So, alkaline soda ash neutralizes acid, which would otherwise reduce pH concentration. Soda ash is required at rate of 1.25 to 1.5 libs for 1 lib of chlorine consumed. Tie glass cylinder to mounted on a platform. All right. Then you can say gas cylinder is usually mounted on a platform scale for checking weight of gas used each day. Calcium hypochlorite, what is how it acts? Calcium hypochlorite is formalized Ca bracket CnO2. Calcium hypochlorite. So we just took calcium chlorine, now I'll take calcium hypochlorite Ca. It's dry white compound. It's dry white compound available in granular and tablet form under various trade names. It releases 70% of its weight in free chlorine when dissolved in water. But with a different effective on pH, with a different effect on pH concentration than chlorine gas. As a result of alkalinity of calcium byproduct, pool water becomes alkaline, so that it requires additionally of water. Mm. It releases 70% its weight in free chlorine when dissolved in water, but with a different effect on pH concentration than chlorine gas. Result of alkalinity of calcium byproduct, pool water will become alkaline, so that it requires addition of muriatic, muriatic butane. As a result of alkalinity of calcium byproduct, pool water will become alkaline, so that it requires addition of muriatic 20-degree balmy hydrochloric acid or sodium bisulfate to restore balance. Granule form is prepared for use by dissolving it in water, as this results in precipitation of calcium carbonate. An extra container is necessary for mixing purposes, so that only clear okay. Granular form is prepared for use by dissolving it in water, as this results in precipitation of calcium carbonate. As this results in precipitation of calcium carbonate, an extra container is necessary for mixing purposes, so that only clear liquid in only clear liquid is allowed to pass through chemical feed pump hypochlorinator for discharge into return line. I will read this again. I'm not finding place to keep book. Granule form is prepared for use by dissolving it in water, As this results in precipitation of calcium carbonate, an extra container is necessary for mixing purposes so that only clear liquid is allowed to pass through chemical feed pump hypochlorinator for discharge into return line. Importance of using clear liquids. Importance of using only clear liquid is that residue of calcium carbonate would clog feeder system and form time scale on walls and floors of pool. Another method which reduces calcium deposits in pool is to add soda ash to same container as calcium hypochlorite. This converts calcium hypochlorite. This converts calcium hypochlorite into sodium hypochlorite. The same precaution is necessary to ensure that only clear liquid per this heavy residue of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Wait a minute. Same present precaution is necessary to ensure that only clear liquid passes through chemical feed pump hyperchlorination. They daily uh, same precaution is necessary to ensure that only clear liquid passes through and clearance. Same precipitation is necessary to ensure that only clear output सामने क्या होता है heavy this converts calcium hypochlorite into sodium hypochlorite. Same precaution necessary to ensure that only clear liquid passes through tables of tablets. This same precaution is necessary to ensure that only clear liquid passes through chemical feed pump hypochlorinator. Heavy residual of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Okay, same precaution is necessary to ensure that only clear liquid passes through clean chemical feed pump hypochlorinator. Heavy residue of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Tablets of calcium hydrochloride. Table of then heavy result of calcium carbonate should be last. Heavy residue of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Tablets of calcium hypochlorite dissolve more slowly than granules with advantage of providing a more constant and real constant even supply of chlorine. Heavy residue of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Tablets of calcium hypochlorite and dissolve more than slowly than okay. Heavy results of calcium carbonate should be discarded. Tables of calcium hypochlorite. Same precaution is necessary to ensure that only tablets of calcium hypochlorite dissolve more slowly than granules, with advantage of providing a more constant and even supply of chlorine when thrown into pool or used in a dissolving market. These two dissolving tablets may also be used when these tablets of calcium hydroxide dissolve more slowly than it. Tablets of calcium hypochlorite dissolve more slowly than granules, with advantage of providing a more constant and absolute supply of 4 essences. यार क्यों नहीं पढ़ा जा रहा? Heavy machine tablets of calcium hypochlorite dissolve more slowly and in the okay. Tables of calcium hydrochloride dissolve more slowly than preamble graphites are. Calcium hydrochloride dissolves more slowly than granules with advantage of providing a more constant and even supply of chlorine when thrown into pool or used in a dissolved basket. These show dissolving tablets may also be paid by uh, paid by paid or used in a dissolving basket. These slow dissolving tablets may also be placed in skimmer basket. Now, sodium hypochlorite, what it does? Sodium hypochlorite. Its duty, no, sodium hypochlorite, sorry, NaOCl. Its principal constituent of liquid household bleaches, sodium hypochlorite. Principal constituent of liquid household bleaches, which usually contain 10 to 15% of available chlorine. It can be either fed through a hypochlorinator, technical feed pump, or in a it is sodium hypochlorite, principal constituent of liquid household bleaches, which usually contains 10 to 15% of available chlorine. It can be either fed through a hypochlorinator, chemical feed pump in command strength, or diluted or poured directly into pool. Commercial solution of sodium hypochlorite contains sodium hydroxide to prevent commercial solutions of sodium hypochlorite contain sodium hydroxide to prevent loss of chlorine. Commercial solution of sodium hypochlorite contains sodium hydroxide to prevent loss of chlorine during storage. As sodium hydroxide is alkaline, it reacts with acids in pool to make use of soda ash unnecessarily. Should pool be cyanoates? Cyanoates. These are Wait a minute, I have completed that one. Wait a minute. Commercial solution sodium hypochlorite contains sodium hydroxide to prevent loss of chlorine. During storage, as sodium hydroxide is alkaline, it reacts with acids in pole to make use of soda ash. Unnecessary. Should pole be already alkaline? pH pH concentration will increase, which will require concentration by muriatic conjugative bromine hydrochloric acid or sodium bisulfate. Now, cyanorates. These are complex compounds of cyanuric acid, cyanuric acid, which are readily soluble in water. They have a slightly acidic effect, so that addition of acid for pH control is seldom necessary, as cyanurates are more expensive than conventional chemicals. More expensive. Initial treatment of pool with 30 ppm of cyanotic acid is essential. Uh, pH control, okay, we say as cyanorates are more expensive than conventional chemicals, initial treatment of pool was 30. Okay, what to do? I can't help it. As cyanorates are more expensive than conventional chemicals, initial treatment of pool with 30 ppm of cyanotic acid is essential to prevent dissipation of chlorine residual due to expensive uh, ultraviolet rays. Mm, they have a slightly acidic. Okay, now says as cyanotic acid is more expensive than conventional chemicals. Initial treatment of pool with 30 ppm cyanotic acid is essential to prevent dissipation of. Oh dear, who's that? It's possible, you know. Mm. As cyanorates are more expensive than conventional chemicals, initial treatment of pool with 30 ppm of cyanic acid is essential to prevent dissipation of chlorine residual due to exposure to ultraviolet rays of sunlight. This dissipation with an untreated pool may amount to as much as 70% of chlorine on hot sunny days, when usually rain. Yes. Uh, this dissipation with an untreated pool may amount to as much as 70% of chlorine on hot sunny days. Understand? This distribution with an untreated pool around, around I'm sorry, what to do? This dissipation with an untreated pool may amount to as much as 70% of chlorine on hot sunny days. When using cyanorates, free chlorine residue is maintained between 1 to 2 ppm. This level of stable chlorine residual is very effective against algae. Advantage between advantage And also salaries make them ideal for residential pools. Pool owners should use test kit which shows values of free chlorine residual up to 3 ppm. Pool servicemen should also have a test kit for cyanuric acid up to 100 ppm. Superchlorination necessary when pool water becomes cloudy or discolored when a false residual test is discovered or when signs of algae appear. It involves closing pool, applying heavy dose of chemicals to raise chlorine residual to 5 ppm or more and allowing excess residual to dissipate overnight. Mm. Mm. Then breakdown chlorination. How many pages are there to see for this chlorination, etc.? Oh, there are many pages. One, two, three, four. Oh no, we'll continue tomorrow as well. Jacuzzi is also there. We'll continue with that one. So it says, oh yes, it'll take time. It's not so easy. Oh, I take one more full time we'll take tomorrow. Many pages, many pages, many pages. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. It's knowledge, it's knowledge. Oh my God, it's too much. So it's something achievable, we can say. Back health also take so back also we do. No problem, no problem, do it. Break down chlorination, and something usually applies to outdoor pools with a high organic contents. When initial dose of chemical react with pool water to satisfy original chlorine demand, most of it is absorbed by organic matter to form chloramines and other chlorine compounds. These substances breakdown goes and talking. These substances are responsible for chlorine odors and taste. Yes. Addition of a small amount of excess chlorine are necessary for normal pool operation. But in order to eliminate taste and odors, it's sometimes necessary to raise free chlorine, say, to 5 mm. Okay, it is absorbed by some organic matter. These substances are responsible for chlorine odors and taste. Addition of small amount of excess chlorine are necessary for normal pool operation, but in order to eliminate taste and odors, it is sometimes necessary to raise free chlorine say to 5 ppm. Free chlorine then starts to oxidize. Addition of small amount of excess chlorine are necessary for normal pools operations, but in order to eliminate taste and others, it's sometimes necessary to raise free chlorine say to 5 ppm. Free chlorine then starts to oxidize chloramines and other chlorine compounds. As these reactions absorb much of excess free chlorine, residential wells residual fail suddenly. Oh, sorry, this is uh, fire free chlorine and then starts. Free chlorine then starts to oxidize. Chloramines oxidize chloramines and other chlorine compounds as these reactions absorb much of excess free chlorine. Residual falls suddenly to lower value and chlorine compounds disappear together with their taste and odor. This is called breakpoint at which most of chlorine in water is in free state. Other chemicals for Other chemicals for disinfection of swimming pools include iodine and certain of their compounds. Other methods of disinfecting water are use of silver slats, electrolytic production of silver iron, and ultraviolet radiations, but all are either impractical or unsatisfactory for swimming pools. Other poor chemicals, Other cool chemicals. Aluminium sulfate, Al2 bracket SO4 bracket close 3, 18H2O. Aluminium. Aluminium sulfate, Al2 SO4 3, 18H2O is used as a coagulant with sand filters to give improved clarity to water. It dissolves slowly to make acid solution. It dissolves slowly to make an acid solution which neutralizes in reaction with cool water to form aluminum hydroxide. Under right conditions, under right conditions, aluminum hydroxide precipitates in white flux which aluminum. Okay. क्या हो जाता है मुझे? Aluminum sulfate is used as a coagulant, with sand filters to give improved clarity to water, dissolves slowly to make an acid solution, which neutralizes in reaction with cool water to form aluminum hydroxide. Under right conditions, aluminum hydroxide precipitates in white flocks, which accumulates as a gelatinous mat on filter bed. This mat will catch particles which would otherwise pass through sand. Successful use of alum for flocculation requires critical alkaline condition with pH 7.4 to 7.6. Use 4.4 to 5 oz of lumps alum per square feet of filter area. Put lump alum in basket of schema or air and lint strainer after wet water vegetable filters. During initial disinfection of pool containing water with a high iron content, chlorine will cause iron to precipitate as red iron oxide, which will discolor and cloud water. If powdered alum or a saturated alum solution is sprinkled on surface of water and left overnight, it will coagulate turbidity and hasten settling process. So that precipitate can be vacuumed from pool bottom in morning. Pool should not be used during treatment. Algae site. Safest chemicals for controlling algae in swimming pools are proprietary preparations made for purpose. Ideal algaecide kills existing algae, prevents new algae growth, creates no problems with filter or pool operations, and harmless to pool users. Chemicals for cleaning filters. When sand is returned to pool, an inspection of filter bed of a sand and gravel filter may reveal formation of mud balls. This condition can be corrected by purging bed with with IV, sodium hydroxide or calcium hypochlorite. Open top of filter and drain water below top of sand. Break up sand and mud balls and allow top layer to dry before spreading chemical evenly over bed in following modes. Then, then I'll talk it later on in this heat loss retardant. So much is there. We'll talk later on of this. This is chemical and very boring subject. So this is, remember, read this if you wish. And now, I would like to take your leave for this day. Talk to tomorrow in details. And I'm also sometimes trying to, you can say, watch party on past videos. If you are interested, you can see I'm putting on my stories as well as watch party, because those are also very important. And this management continues. I'll now take your leave and close this for. Thank you very much, gentlemen.